NXT. NXT wasn't the best show last night. There were some things that delivered on the show, some things that didn't. We got Karrion Kross promising lengthy reign at the top of the men's division. We got MSK retaining over Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick. And we got Mercedes Martinez defeating Kamea in a match where I have no idea why they booked. I don't think it makes sense. And we got Kushida becoming the new Cruiserweight Champion. And I got your NXT news on big plans for Imperium. I got your, you know how I break it down on my channel. And we're going to talk about it right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my IWN Wrestling News and Gaming YouTube channel. This is your boy, Brendan, here live with your NXT April 13, 2021 review. On your Wednesday afternoon, it is currently sunny outside, and it's currently 2:38 a.m. in the afternoon right now. So, before I get started, I just want to tell you that 1, AEW Dynamite comes on tonight, and 2, my AEW Dynamite review will be live tonight as well. And number 3, if you are new to the channel, I am here to officially tell you, you better hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done so yet, what are you waiting for? If you want to see new wrestling and gaming content that's coming to the channel this year, be sure you hit that like, subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. Help me get over to 1,000 subs by hitting the subscribe button. I am on my way to 400 subscribers. Can you believe it? I'm on my way to 400 subs already. I just want to thank each and every single one of you for supporting me in my channel. Keep up the good work. You are doing good. Keep encouraging every single YouTuber to subscribe to my channel. Every single person on Twitter in the IWC community that has YouTube to subscribe to my channel. And everybody all over the world to subscribe, man. Help me make my channel the best Ingram Wrestling News and Gaming YouTube channel that you would ever subscribe to. I want my channel to be one of the best channels to be remembered. Especially till the day I die. Now, if you're new to Twitter in the IWC community and you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, well, what are you waiting for? Hit that follow button on Twitter, man. Help me get up to 1,000 by hitting that follow button, man. That's where I tweet out my reviews, and I tweet out things related to wrestling and podcast stuff and all that. So, also follow me on Twitch. I got one follower. I got a new follower on Twitch. So now I got 13 followers. I need more followers, folks. Be sure you follow me on Twitch, man. If you are a Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War fan, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball GT, or Dragon Ball Super, or Dragon Ball Z fan, if you're any of those fans, if you want to see more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Twitch streams live on my Twitch channel, and if you want to see more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War streams on Twitch, please be sure you follow me on Twitch, because that is where I stream my Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. That's where I stream both games. Now, if you think you're going to enjoy this review, hit that like button on the video. Even though there's nobody here, I really don't give a shit. I'm going to review anyway, regardless if there's nobody watching. Whether it's people watching or not watching, I'm still going to do my reviews, and I'm still not going to stop until I get actual audience. I will not stop going live with my Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite reviews until I get actual audience in the live chat. I'm not going to stop. I don't care who's watching and not watching. I'm not stopping until I get actual audience watching my reviews. Until I get actual audience in the chat. And I'm not going to stop looking for moderators either. Justin is still currently my YouTube moderator for the live chats and stuff. I'm still looking for moderators. So if you want to be my second moderator, you better comment in the chat now so I can add you. That's my second moderator. I'm still looking for 2 or 3 more moderators this year. Now, with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and start the review. And the new NXT champion, Karrion Kross, making their way to the ring. Kross says he told us all this would happen. He says time always comes for everything. Or always comes for everyone. It was only a matter of time until he was the NXT champion again. Now, as for Mr. Balor, Finn is one of the best to ever step foot in the ring. He went on a tier as the champion, but unfortunately for him, he thought his bullshits were a weakness. But anything can be a driving force when you learn to control it. And Kross controls everything. Kross says that Kross says that not that time has corrected course. He is in charge of everything. They say when you're on top, you only go down, but he's sure that's a lie. No one will outwork or outtrain him. NXT has the hungriest guys and girls in the industry, but he's starving and insatiable. So if you want the NXT championship, you could step right up and he will make your head roll. He doesn't care who you are, where you're from, or how good you think you are. He will fold everyone until there's no one left, because in the end, nobody, or should I say everybody, pays the toll. We see highlights from the first ever 2-night NXT takeover, which saw Karrion Kross defeat Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. MSK became the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Walter retained the United Kingdom Championship over Tommaso Ciampa. Kyle O'Reilly defeat Adam Cole. Johnny Gargano retained over Bronson Reed. Santos Escobar became the undisputed Cruiserweight Champion. Raquel Gonzalez became the new NXT Women's Champion. Later that night, Raquel Gonzalez would speak for the first time since winning her title, and we see footage of the aftermath. Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick. So before that, let me go ahead and give you all my thoughts on Kross's promo from last night's NXT. I was at work though. I read the NXT results luckily enough before I went live, so. So this promo was showed one of NXT's biggest problems. Now, Kross has been built as a monster who lets his actions and Scarlet speak for him. When he has spoken in the past, his words dripped with malice. He only said what he needed to say. He has talent on the mic, but not with this much standard WWE scripting. His first words since becoming the top guy in NXT made him sound like just another superstar. Now, he threw out a few signature catchphrases and put himself over as the hungriest man in the hungriest locker room. He especially seemed uncertain how to deal with a few loud fans. NXT is building so much on the performances over the characters. Kross has been established more as a, typical Raw or SmackDown figure than one made for the Black and Gold brand. If NXT continues to script him like this, the company will lose the spark that makes the Herald of Doomsday unique. Now, back to the match between MSK and Drake Maverick and Killian Dain for the NXT Tag Team Champions. So we have the match starting out with Dain and Nash Carter. And Killian wants to lock up, but Carter kicks him in the leg. Dain grabs Carter and slams him down. Then picks him up for a suplex. And a quick 2 count. Maverick tags in and trips Carter. And let me remind you all that my NXT thumbnail will be uploaded to the live stream in a minute. So you'll get to see it in a minute. Once it gets uploaded, all you have to do is exit out the review and come back and you'll see the thumbnail on the screen. Anyways, Killian Dain lands an elbow drop. Wesley tags in and flips over Drake Maverick before punching him in the back of the head. Now MSK ducks a lariat and hits a drop kick to the knee, then a whisper in the wind for a 2 count. Lee stops Maverick from making a tag to Dain. Then he and Nash isolate him in the corner and lands a fury of kicks. Man, I gotta tell you, those were some real good lariat kicks, man. Those were some real good kicks. When I mean those were some real good kicks, those were some non-stop action kind of kicks. The kind of match you would want to deliver kicks to an opponent. That's how good that kicks was. Those kicks were. They were awesome. So Carter hits a Bronco Buster for a 2 count. Now, Drake counters both MSK to make the tag to Killian Dain, who grabs Carter from the apron and slams him down. Lee knocks Dain off the apron and looks for a suicide dive, but gets caught in midair Dain drops Carter with a crossbody at ringside. We got a commercial break. And back live. And Nash clocks Maverick with a knee. Then a lariat in the corner. And hits a snapmare. And a kick to the back. So then, after that, once we got that, folks, that kick to the back looked like that really, really hurt. Would you all agree? Let me know in the chat if you agree with me on this. Nash baseball slides Dain off the apron. It slams Drake before tagging Lee in for the standing shove moonsault. Now Dain breaks their pin attempt. Well, I was going to say Dain breaks up the pin. That's what I was going to say originally, but I changed my mind. So Dain breaks their pin attempt, then drags Maverick to the corner and tags himself in. Dain gets them both on his shoulders, but they fight off and beat him down with strikes. Lee tags in as Carter dropped toe hold Dain into the buckles. Lee hits a 619 around the ring post, while Nash hits a super kick for a near fall. Folks, my thumbnail has just officially been uploaded to the stream. All you got to do is exit out and come back, and you'll see what the thumbnail looks like. The thumbnail has Kross and Scarlett on it. I made WWE NXT's thumbnail look different. I made WWE's NXT thumbnail into my own. Put it that way. I changed the looks on it. I put texture to it to make it look different, to make it stand out different than everybody else's. Now, as I was saying, Lee lands a corkscrew senton for a near fall. Carter tags in. So we have Carter tag in, and he's looking for a sunset flip. But Dain won't budge. And the stream is back up to those of you that are in the chat. Thank you for the subscription, Rated R. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the like on the stream. And if you're enjoying your review, man, let me know in the chat. Then Lee jumps at him, but gets caught. And Dain hits him with Midget O2 driver into the Carter. Now Maverick comes in and tags or teams with Dain for stereo kicks. And then a powerbomb. Dain looks for a powerbomb. Drake into Carter, but Lee gets his partner out of the way. Now Lee then catches Dain with a springboard cutter and gets him out of the ring so they can hit a spine buster. Blockbuster for the win. Man, that spine buster blockbuster, man, that was the best. That's the best I ever seen out of MSK, man. Wow, these guys are really killing it. These guys are doing really, really good, man. They really are. I think they're going to have a great reign as NXT champs, man. I really do think that. Now, my thoughts on this match personally. It was a great match, man. It was an awesome, awesome match, man. I was so impressed with MSK that I couldn't even stop watching the match. The Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick did good too, but MSK at the end of the day were the better men. They were tamed. So despite the potential of this matchup, man, my thoughts on this, honestly, it was no better than their first match together. And Lee and Carter continue to pull impressive high-flying offenses every match. They actually proved that they can be singles competitors too, as well. Might as well throw that out there. Now, Lee and Carter continue to pull impressive high-flying offense in every match, but it doesn't land as well without a capable heel team to work off them. And I think that heel team should be, once again, the Grizzled young veterans. Still, for a random NXT title defense, this was more than good enough. It was fun action between capable teams, with MSK building more momentum without taking away from the potential threat of Dain and Maverick as an odd pair, or as an odd pairing that worked well together. Dain and Maverick versus Imperium could be interesting. Fabian Heiner and Marcel Barthel deserve more opportunities than they have been given lately, beyond backing up Walter anyway. MSK leave, and Dain checks on Maverick until Alexander Wolf appears. Wolf talks to Dain, but Fabian Heiner and Marcel Barthel come in from behind and attack him. Imperium beats Dain down and pose together. So I'm guessing this is the beginning of Maverick and Killian Dain's feud with Imperium. So we're going to be getting an Imperium. This is the beginning of the Imperium and Maverick Killian Dain feud. Now I wonder how good they are going to do this feud. Makes me wonder. Anyways, Robert Stone and Aaliyah are shown walking to William Regal's office earlier that day. So Stone talks about getting his girl a title shot, but Mercedes Martinez appears, and once she appears, she stops her, and Martinez asked if she wants to step up, and Kamea says she wants to step up on her. Now Mercedes says she can try tonight. That's what she says. She says she can try tonight. Now, we see highlights of the unsanctioned match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole on night 2 of Stand and Deliver. The footage shows the aftermath of the match, in which Cole was put on a stretcher and taken to a hospital. Kyle O'Reilly collapsed backstage, and he too was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. Both guys were wheeled into a hospital side by side, and Cole kept shouting at O'Reilly that he's going to kill him. Man, this feud is getting real personal real quick, and I got a feeling this feud is not going to end yet. It's probably going to end until the next takeover, I'm assuming. Or maybe Adam Cole. Maybe this could be Adam Cole's. This could have been Adam Cole's last NXT match. He could be getting called up to the main roster soon. And you know Bruce and Vince are gonna fuck him up on the main roster. Same with Io Shirai. Well, good luck to Adam Cole and Io Shirai, because their run on the main roster is already doomed. Trust me, I know. I know the garbage and the terrible garbage that Vince and Bruce has given us on Monday Night Raw every week. I already know. I am always kept up to date with what's going on with Raw by my sources on the internet. And speaking of Raw, I don't think any of y'all care to know, but this week's Raw, we got one of the worst episodes that they've ever produced. It was bad. It was really bad. Monday Night Raw this week was so bad that I decided not to go live for my Raw review. I am tired of reviewing Raw every week, man. Knowing the shows are never going to get better. That's like me saying I would much rather review NXT, SmackDown, NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite than Raw. That's how fucking awful Monday Night Raw was this week. That's how awful this week's episode of Raw was. It was absolutely god awful, man. Raw has got to do better, man. WWE, Vince and Bruce mainly needs to do better. Because Vince and Bruce are the ones in charge of Raw and SmackDown. Bruce is the executive director of both Raw and SmackDown. But anyways, man. The Way is interviewed backstage. And before that, after Mercedes Martinez's match against Jessi Kamea with Robert Stone and Aaliyah at ringside, Martinez runs out and Aaliyah bolts, but she catches Stone. Martinez pins him against the barricade, and he gives her the money he owed. So he gives her the money he owed. Martinez then stares at Vince Joseph and shouts out, she's coming for Raquel Gonzalez. So then we got the Way interview backstage and talk about their upcoming tag match. Gargano says this match is bananas, but this is the first time all four of them are in a match together. Theory says he's excited to get in there with him as well. Gargano says they prove they're the best intergender team in NXT history. I don't know about all that. Commercial break. Legado del Fantasma come to the ring. The undisputed cruiserweight champion Santos Escobar says his title was that of a forgotten division 1 year ago. Speaking of forgotten, whatever happened to Wesley Blake? Anybody know? Anybody got any updates on what's going on with Wesley Blake? Hadn't seen him for months and months, man. What's going on? Could Wesley Blake be heading back to NXT? Now that he's separated from Jason Riker and Steve Cutler? Steve Cutler was fired because Vince apparently said he was too fat. Which I think that was a bunch of BS. I think Vince was just trying to be mean and racist. I think that's what he was trying to do. Anyways, Legado del Fantasma was born, and the sideshow became the main event. They took the Cruiserweight title to the main event and stole the show at Stand and Deliver. He says his family are warriors, and that's why tonight he will extend an open challenge to whoever wants it. So we have Santos Escobar versus Kushida. Kushida accepted the challenge, just as I expected from the time skipper himself. So yes, Santos Escobar's guys were at ringside. Yes, they were. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Rael Mendoza and Joaquin Wild. Known as Legado Fantasma, anyway. I didn't really say the whole thing, but you guys know what I mean. And you guys heard me say their names, obviously. I don't know, but I'm kind of going slow on my review. I noticed that I'm going a bit slow and I'm talking a bit slow. That's because, number one, I'm taking my time, and number two, I'm trying not to misspell anything. I'm trying to make my reviews the best reviews possible. But it's not about competition, man. It's about giving everybody the best reviews that they know they're going to listen to. They know they're going to tune into, That's what it's all about. And I'm trying to be that best person. Fuck the competition. It's not about that shit. It's about giving your YouTube subscribers what they want to hear, what they want to see, and which channel is worth subscribing to. Now, Santos Escobar with Legado Fantasma versus Kushida. The bell rings. We got Kushida knocking Escobar from the ring with a dropkick. Escobar taunts at ringside before getting back in and takes the fight to Kushida. Now, Kushida and Escobar trade fast reversals for a solid 40 seconds. So then we see Escobar attempts a, sunset flip, and Kushida grabs him for an armbar, only for Santos to scramble to the ropes. Kushida wraps his arms around his leg and snaps it. So Escobar rolls outside. Kushida runs, but handsprings back into the middle of the ring and poses like Hulk Hogan for somewhat reason I don't know. Maybe that was an homage to Hulk Hogan. The racist, of course. That's what he is. I mean, why else would he be the racist? You seen all those tweets from last year from him on Twitter. Racial comments, backlash at fans and shit. Yeah. So we got a commercial break. Back live. Escobar. Yes, Escobar takes control of the match. Santos hits a running lariat in the corner, then kicks Kushida out of the ring. Escobar goes out. It lifts Kushida into a hanging power bomb position and swings his head into the steel steps. Escobar then puts Kushida on top of the steps and applies a lion's armor. Or should I say maybe lion salt? I don't know. Santos lets go and gets back in the ring before the referee's count. Kushida rolls in and eats a flurry of kicks to the face from Santos for a near fall. Escobar applies a submission to the arm, but Kushida fights up. Escobar kicks Kushida and backs him into the corner for a big chop. Then a running knee to the chest. Escobar lifts Kushida onto the top rope. It lands a Frankensteiner. Then for a near fall. He lands a Frankensteiner for near fall. Kushida fights up from a submission, but gets caught with a flying kick. Santos lifts him up, where Kushida elbows himself free. He wiggles himself free and hits a reverse atomic drop. Then an arm drag and drop kicks Kushida, lands a forearm and running kick to the elbow. Kushida looks for a hammerlock DDT and Santos escapes. Kushida hits a big uppercut in the corner, then lifts Escobar up top. Kushida hits an arm trap superplex and holds on and hits another with a bridging pin, but Santos gets a foot on the bottom rope. Kushida looks for the flying armbar, but Santos breaks free and kicks him, only for Kushida to follow up with a Pele kick, and both men are down. They trade hands while climbing to their feet, then hit stereo kicks. I was thinking stereotype. Well, Ali's a stereotype. I mean, what do you all want me to say? Kushida wants a handspring, back elbow, but Escobar catches him with a backstabber. Escobar looks for the Phantom Driver, but Kushida slips off and rolls him up for the win. You all know that I'm not going to stop until I get my audience in here. I'm not going to stop every week with my reviews until I get actual audience listening to my reviews, to my NXT, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, UK, AEW, Dynamite reviews. But Kushida wins and becomes the new Cruiserweight Champion. How do you feel about, what is y'all's reaction to Kushida shocking the world by defeating Santos Escobar to become the Cruiserweight champ? Give me your thoughts on that in the chat, please. I would like to know everyone's thoughts on that, because honestly, Kushida winning the Cruiserweight Championship, I think it was absolutely the right call. I mean, now that Santos' reign has come to an end, now we got Kushida's new Cruiserweight Champion. Question is, who is Kushida's first challenger going to be? I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later. But my analyst thoughts on this match, honestly, this was a complete shock, just as I said. After doing so much to establish Escobar's one and only Cruiserweight champion, and adding a true surprise to the night, elevated the show as a whole. While Escobar was a great champion, he was running low on challengers, so the division just got the bold reset it needed. The former champion is on the hunt. Devlin has also stacked his claim. There are many great matches now in store. The match was good, though it felt like they did not quite hit their highest gear. Now these two have a great match in store down the line. I could definitely see a Kushida and Escobar feud. I could definitely see. I think this is the start of the Kushida Escobar feud. I could definitely see them feud all the way to maybe a takeover after 2 takeovers. If you all get what I'm saying. I could see them feuding all the way till the 3rd takeover. Meaning, the 3rd takeover past 2 other NXT takeovers. I think this feud is going to last longer than I thought. I think this is the start of the Kushida and Escobar feud. I really like this idea of Kushida being Cruiserweight champion, because he has worked so hard to get to the top, and he absolutely deserves a title on his waist, man. And now he has it. Now he's got it. Good on him, man. Congrats to Kushida, man, for winning that title last night. Now, the match was enjoyable to watch, too, by the way. Enjoyable, creative, entertaining. Just your typical TV match that you would want to watch on a Tuesday night on NXT. Anyways, Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher are sitting backstage. Ciampa says the Dusty Cup tested their cohesion as a team. Walter and Imperium tested their resolve. And they won every fight. No. Did they pass the tests? Yes. Again, did they win every fight? No. Did they pass the tests? Yes. Now they're facing a whole new tag team landscape. Thatcher says they could go for the tag team division or the very top, but Ciampa tells MSK they're coming. Now, this pairing of Tommaso Ciampa and Thatcher could lead to Thatcher turning heel on Ciampa to join Imperium. So, that is going to happen sooner rather than later. Watch me be right, man, because I'm always right. When it comes to wrestling, I seemingly feel like I'm always right about something. Just like I was right when Jey Uso won that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Oh, just like I was right when either Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso was going to interfere in Roman Reigns' Universal Championship match back at WrestleMania 37. And it ended up happening and Roman Reigns won it. Just like I was right about that too. And I thought this could have been Jimmy Uso's moment to return, to make his WrestleMania return, or his in-ring return. But it didn't happen. Didn't happen that many of us thought it would happen. It didn't. Now, so we had a commercial break. Kushida is in the trainer's room with his new title. William Regal walks up, congratulates him. Jordan Devlin comes in clapping sarcastically and says he beat Santos Escobar, but so what? Who did he ever beat? Devlin says anyone can climb up a ladder quicker than someone else. He's going home for a little while, but when he comes back, it will be for the Cruiserweight Championship. Dakota Kai is in the ring. Known as Tyra Valkyrie, John Morrison's wife. It turns out it was her behind the Franky Monet name that WWE seemingly changed. Yeah, they changed. They went from Tyra Valkyrie to Franky Monet now. I don't like the name. The name is fucking terrible. I don't know why they gave her this fucking name. I don't think it made sense. And her debut didn't even look impressive at all. I was not impressed with the debut. I really wasn't. I was just absolutely just baffled and horrified of her, seeing her debut. It was just, her debut was just fucking garbage. It was just awful. I didn't like it. So, Franky Monet is on the stage holding her little dog. Monet comes to the ring and congratulates Gonzalez. She says she's here to formally introduce herself to the world, and now the best women's division in the world has got a little classier and a whole lot better. And seeing as Raquel is at the top of it, she'll be seeing a lot more of her. Gonzalez says Franky is lucky she's in a good mood tonight, because if she interrupts her again, she'll shove her dog straight up her, what. Straight up her hole. Something Nia Jax has said. Yeah. Monet gets out of the ring and says she'll see Raquel every Tuesday. Monet leaves, but out of nowhere, the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley comes out. Rhea comes to the ring with her title and stands face to face with Raquel. Ripley and Gonzalez clap belts together and smile. Then out comes the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Gonzalez, Belair, and Ripley stand together in the ring with their titles, and we see a photo of all three from their early days in NXT. All three women pose together, then hug. You know what? Seeing these three holding their titles in the ring makes me seemingly believe that this is setting up something. I think this is setting up their triple threat match for this year's Survivor Series. We haven't seen the 2021 Survivor Series pay-per-view yet. The Survivor Series pay-per-view, as you all know, will be coming up soon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think this is setting up a triple threat match for Survivor Series 2021. So, I think this is going to be, Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, versus the Raw Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, versus SmackDown Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, will be set for WrestleMania. Or, no, not WrestleMania, but will be set for Survivor Series 2021. So, I think this is setting up a triple threat match. Again, we're going to see Raquel Gonzalez. We're going to see the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez, versus the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, versus SmackDown Women's Champion. Or wait, I got it backwards. Let me rephrase that again. I got it a little bit backwards. I'm kind of dazed out, man. And I'm not even sure if I got enough sleep last night or what. Came home from work late. So, let's start all over again by what I just said. Alright. So I said, what I'm trying to say is, my English is not that good. So what I'm trying to say is, I think these three posing in the ring, holding up the titles, is setting up a triple threat match for this year's Survivor Series 2021. So this is setting up the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez, versus the Raw Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, versus Bianca Belair, the SmackDown Women's Champion. Or should I say, the Raw is setting up the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus the NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez versus SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair. So this is setting up a triple threat match for Survivor Series 2021. I think this is going to be one of the best triple threat matches ever produced, if they book it right, if it's written right. So that's what I think. That's why I think all three of those women were on the show, because I think this is setting up a triple threat match for Survivor Series. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out as one of the best matches on that pay-per-view. Now, I think Survivor Series is right after Backlash, if I'm right. I might be right, I might be wrong. I don't know what's after Backlash. I'm not sure. It might be Survivor Series, though. I don't know. I think NXT is going to be added to Survivor Series pay-per-view. Some of the superstars from NXT are going to be added to that pay-per-view, I think. I don't know. So it'll be like a Raw, SmackDown, NXT Survivor Series this year. Because last year it was the Raw, SmackDown Survivor Series. So I think this year it's going to be the Raw, SmackDown, NXT Survivor Series. Let's hope we get that. Because I would love to see Raquel Gonzalez versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for Survivor Series 2021. I would love to see that. These women... WWE doesn't plan on having these women drop their titles anytime soon. Probably not till after Survivor Series. But this would be a good Survivor Series triple threat women's match, man. NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez versus Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. Do y'all not know how good that sounds? Do you not know how good this triple threat match would be? The powerfulest versus the powerfulest versus the powerfulest. Powerhouse versus powerhouse versus powerhouse, man. This reminds me of Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, man. That match was terrible. That match, that for the Fatal 4-Way men's match, that match was terrible, though. One of the worst matches they ever produced. I think that was that Great Balls of Fire, wasn't it? That Fatal 4-Way match. I think this women's triple threat match would be better than the Fatal 4-Way match between Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. Anyways, Pete Dunne says he outclasses Kushida at Stand and Deliver, proving he's the best technical wrestler in the world. He dares anyone to step up and try to prove him wrong. In the meantime, it's time for him to focus on the championship gold again. Commercial break. Sheree will make her debut, her NXT debut next week. Yes, I have news on her debut for next week. I have news on that. That will be explained in the end of the review. And I also have news on Big Prince for Imperium, which that will be explained in the end too. William Regal says he's very excited for her debut, and it's taken a long time to put in place. Regal walks into his office, and Roger Strong is there with his wife, Marina Shafir. He hands Regal a brown envelope and says he's done. Regal says it hasn't always been easy, but he's a consummate professional. Welcome back in NXT anytime. Strong is allegedly gone from NXT. Here's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think this is beginning to be a storyline. But the question is, who the fuck is Roger Strong feuding with? Is his next feud going to be with Adam Cole? Are we going to see a Roger Strong versus Adam Cole for the next pay-per-view? Is Roger Strong seemingly turning face? He says he's leaving NXT, so I'm thinking he's seemingly going to come back and turn face on Adam Cole. He's going to turn on Adam Cole. We're going to get a bam, just like that. We're going to get a babyface Roger Strong versus a heel Adam Cole. Is that where they're going? Could this be the beginning of a Roger Strong Adam Cole feud? I mean, the Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly match at Stand and Deliver Night 2, wasn't that the end? Didn't that conclude the end of Kyle O'Reilly Adam Cole feud? Is Adam Cole going to the main roster yet? I don't think he should. Because he's in for a Wood of Awakening when he gets called up. Even Io Shirai is as well. I really would like to see Adam Cole stay on NXT, man, because I don't even think he's finished yet. I don't even think he's done yet. I think Adam Cole and Roderick Strong feud would certainly be great, man. Considering Adam Cole was the one that encouraged Roderick Strong to join the Undisputed Era. Remember? Back in Adam Cole's days as NXT champion. Back in his days as North American champion. You know what I mean? Back when Undisputed Era was holding gold. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to me. Anybody in the chat agree? A Roderick Strong and Adam Cole feud, man? I think it makes sense to start that feud right now, I think. I think it makes sense, man. It's one thing about NXT. They are good at trying to put superstars in feuds. But they are not good at booking squash matches. I'll tell you that much. They are not good at booking a squash match. They are terrible at booking squash matches when it comes to that. Well, their producing is enough to say that Triple H and NXT produces better shows than Raw and SmackDown combined. But anyways, folks, I'm going to move on. We got Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff. And what was probably, in my opinion, one of the best matches on this week's episode of NXT. I mean, this guy's tore it down. And if you think that their feud is over, yeah, it ain't. It's not over yet. I think, in my opinion, this feud is just getting started. We could see Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott for the next NXT TakeOver. And this match would probably go down as one of the best matches ever produced. This is only just a taste of what their feud is like right now. Wait till their feud get a lot better, man. Wait until their feud get a lot better. They're going to do a lot more better things in the ring than you all have never seen them do. I'm telling you, it's going to be great, man. This feud is improving. I'm impressed with it. And it needs to improve a little bit more. And if it can, then we might as well say this is one of the best feuds that NXT's ever had booked and produced. Now, the bell rings and they butt heads, of course, arguing. Ruff punches Scott and takes him down. So then Swerve hits a flapjack and looks for a kick, but Ruff catches it and drops him. So then Ruff drop kicks Scott from the ring and goes after, but gets hit and tosses back inside. So Ruff runs at Swerve, but gets tossed over the ropes onto the apron and dropped with a elbow. Scott drags Ruff inside and hits a flying elbow from the middle rope to the back for a 2 count. Ruff counters a back elbow, or a back suplex, then hits a flying forearm and a back elbow. Ruff connects with a hip attack, then beats Swerve into the corner. Ruff jumps from rope to rope, avoiding Swerve, then looks for a springboard. Swerve jumps up and hits a Russian leg sweep from the middle rope. Swerve knocks Ruff outside and goes to the apron to hit a running kick. As they head to commercial break, back live, Swerve beats Ruff into the corner and chops him hard. Scott shouts in Ruff's face and holds him, then chops him again. Ruff fires up and slaps Swerve over and over, then hits a few lariats. Ruff leaps for a springboard cutter, but gets, caught with an armbar. Ruff fights free, and this time he lands the springboard cutter. Swerve rolls outside, and Leon hits a springboard tope to Scott on the floor. Ruff gets Scott back in the ring for a near fall. Swerve and Scott go to the top. They go to the apron. Or should I say, Ruff and Scott go to the apron and both climb to the corner. But Ruff gets kicked back and kicks the arm of Swerve. Now, Ruff jumps back up and hits a massive Frankensteiner and crawls over for a near fall. Leon unloads a flurry of punches and forearms, but Scott fires back and lifts him up. Ruff counters with a Hurricane Rana into the turnbuckles. Then a roll-assisted lariat, but Swerve counters with one of his own. Ruff rolls up Scott for a near fall. Scott is on the top rope, and Ruff looks for another Frankensteiner, but Scott drops him on the top turnbuckles. Swerve hits a move that looks a little like a one-winged angle for the win. Or maybe I'm wrong. I think it's one-winged angel, maybe. I think. Now, my thoughts on this match, honestly, it was really good, man. This was a great near end to this rivalry. Both men fought hard, and the near falls in this contest so that either man could win. I don't think this feud is over. I think we could see Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott for the next takeover. I don't think this rivalry has ended just yet. Trust me. Trust me when I say that. Now, it took a while. It was exciting and easily the strongest match on the show. Just like I said earlier, best match on the show. Possibly best match on the show. Took a while, but Swerve is finally building momentum as a heel. Hopefully he gets even more once this rivalry is over. He and Ruff have looked great together and deserve an NXT main event for their final fight. I think they deserve a takeover match for their final fight. I don't know about no NXT main event. I think they deserve a takeover match for the main event of NXT TakeOver or whatever it's going to be named. Either Swerve will finally put an end to this feud with Ruff, or the new attitude shown by the latter backstage could be a sign that those two could rekindle and become an exciting heel tag team together. Not to mention, they sort of look like brothers as well. Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott look like brothers. They look like brothers and look good enough to be a tag team. I agree with this. I agree with what I'm saying here. So Zoe Stark is interviewed backstage and asked about how she's feeling. Stark says she feels amazing because not long ago she was struggling to make ends meet, but now she's in NXT and she just had the biggest win of her career against a former champion in Toni Storm. Mercedes Martinez walks up and asks why a rookie is getting interviewed instead of her. Stark steps to her and they agree to fight next week. So we're getting Zoe Stark versus Mercedes Martinez for next week's episode of NXT. That's going to be interesting. Now, my thoughts on the Raquel Gonzalez segment on NXT. My thoughts on her promos and segment, and my thoughts on Monet's debut. Honestly, it was awesome to see Rhea and Balor together with Gonzalez standing as champions. The two women got their... No, three women, not two. I'm confused. I'm sitting up here like, what the fuck are you saying, Ingram? The three women got their start in the Mae Young Classic and have never looked back. Never, ever looked back. Like, literally, they never looked back again. For the long-term story, Monet has arrived. She has been one of the best female wrestlers outside WWE for the past few years. Her arrival only solidifies how talented the NXT Women's Division is. Meanwhile, her freaking her freaking appearance is just. Meanwhile, her appearance is just terrible. It really is. And the name, oh my god, the name sounds even more terrible. They need to come up with a different name for Tyra Valkyrie. This name was terrible, man. I'm sorry. It was absolutely terrible. Despite her becoming one of the females, one of the best females outside WWE for the past few years, her name needs a little bit more changing. This name is terrible. This name is not going to get her over. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to get her over. That's a terrible fucking name. Franky Monet. What the fuck is that? What is Franky? Who's Franky Monet? What is Franky Monet? Why come up with that name for Tyra Valkyrie? That is not a good name, man. That sounds so fucking typical garbage. I'm serious, man. Oh my god. Oh man, that sounds terrible. Seriously. But while she and Gonzalez should not immediately clash, they can do something special when they do. So this Franky Monet seemingly is a babyface, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing Raquel Gonzalez is still a heel. I think Raquel Gonzalez did turn face. I think she turned face tonight on NXT. So either Franky Monet's going to be the heel or Raquel Gonzalez is going to be the face. And after that feud, we might possibly see Dakota Kai turn on her friend Raquel Gonzalez. Now I wouldn't want to see that, but it's a possibility. Never say never in WWE. Now, we got the main event. We got the men's and women's 8 tag match. I don't understand why The Way versus Reed, Ember Moon, Shotzi Blackheart, and Dexter Lumis was booked. I don't think this made sense. It's almost like you're putting two feuds together. Despite it being a fun main event, I still don't think it made sense, man. I really don't. It just didn't look right. It just the match didn't really look right, man. It really did. Seriously. So it goes on commercial break. We got a hype video for Walter. He says he faced one of his toughest opponents to date in Tommaso Ciampa, but he's still the United Kingdom champion. Walter says he also faced Rampage Brown, which Rampage Brown lost, and expand and take over the world in a bid to restore honor to the sport. And if you look on the screen, if you watch this Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff match, I just showed you a taste of how good this match is going to be if they book it for the next takeover. Now, Walter says Imperium are going to expand and take over the world in a bid to restore the honor to the sport. NXT is going to learn what they mean when they say the mat is sacred. Swerve is interviewed backstage, but Leon Ruff appears and slams his head into the lockers over and over. Ruff then grabs a production box and runs it into Swerve's head. He shouts at Ruff that it isn't over until he says it's over. So we got The Way versus Dexter Lumis, Bronson Reed, Shotzi Blackheart, and Ember Moon. I don't understand why we got it. I don't think it made sense. But here we go. Theory and Lumis start proceedings, and Austin backs him into the corner for shoulder tackles. Theory tries to leap over Lumis, but gets caught with a thus press and punched. Theory looks to tag out, and Indy wants in, but Candice takes the tag. She comes in to Lumis, but Ember Moon runs across the ring and shotgun drop kicks her. Shotzi and Ember Moon team on Candice until Gargano tags himself in. Shotzi and Moon beat on Johnny, then Moon tags Lumis. Dexter drops Gargano with a flapjack uppercut, then knocks Austin off the apron. Candice gets off the apron, but Indy twirls her hair and stares at him. Lumis walks up and Hartwell pokers up, but before Lumis can do anything, Candice pulls her off the apron. Johnny attacks Lumis from behind and tags Austin Theory as they head to commercial break. Back live, and Lumis makes a tag to Bronson, who comes in hot against Theory with forearms and a body attack. Gargano runs in, but he gets too caught with a body attack. Gargano and Theory are in the same corner, and Reed splashes them both. Reed gets Theory on his shoulders. Gargano willingly climbs on so Reed can hit a Samoan drop. Candice and Hartwell runs in and prevent the tag. Then Shotzi and Moon rush in and attack them. All hell broke loose, and the rules go out the window. Candice tries to crossbody Bronson Reed, but bounces off, which that was fucking hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Anyways. They tried to make it seem like it hilarious to make the fans laugh, but the fans didn't laugh. All they did was cheer and boo. And you didn't make me laugh either, certainly. Nice try, Paul. Nice try. Didn't work. Lumis catches Theory with a spine buster. Then Johnny pulls Dexter outside. Moon hits Gargano with a suicide dive, then Candice hits Lumis with a dive onto the DT. Bronson tosses Shotzi over the ropes onto everyone at ringside. Then Gargano catches him with a super kick. Lumis hits Johnny with the silence, and Indy runs inside, but she doesn't want to hit him. So Hartwell lies down, and Lumis lets go to check on her. Theory runs in and stomps Lumis. Then Indy tosses him over the ropes. Indy plays dead again, so Lumis lifts her and carries her backstage. On the way up the ramp, Indy looked back at the ring over Lumis' shoulder and winked. Moon hits an eclipse to Austin Theory with the help of Reed. Then Bronson looks for the tsunami, but Gargano stops him. Reed throws Gargano off, and Candice tries to superplex Reed, but Shotzi lifts her off and throws her onto Theory with a splash. Bronson hits the tsunami to end things there. Now, despite this 8-man women's tag match, this 8 intergenders tag match, whatever you want to fucking call it, I don't think it made sense. I don't think this match made sense, but I will say it was a fun main event for the night. Reed did work really well off of Moon and Blackheart, and Gargano and LeRae's equal inability to slow the Colossal put him over in a majority way. Now Hartwell got what she wanted, showing that the way was too dysfunctional, too delusional to actually pull out a victory. Reed got a big win over Gargano that should set him up for a rematch soon for the NXT North American Championship. It'll be interesting to see what becomes of the way after a night that is certain to break the group's confidence. Folks, this is going to do it for your NXT review. Now, if you enjoyed my NXT review, hit that like button on stream. If you didn't, hit thumbs down. Now we're going to move on to the NXT news. I only have a few. First up, let's start with the news on the big debut set for next week's NXT. So, WWE has a few gifted stars that they have yet to debut. Now, next week, we'll see an on-screen debut of Syuri, and the world will be waiting. Syuri took years getting to NXT. She was supposed to be with the company last year, but the pandemic kept the Joshi standout from arriving. The wait will be over next week. Syuri will be in the Capitol Wrestling Center next week. We'll have to see how they end up using her. They gave her a nice video package to hype her debut. World William Regal praised her in a big way. Now, moving on to the final NXT news that I have, folks. This is the last NXT news I have. Now, the news on WWE having big plans for Imperium. So it says here that WWE's Imperium stable consists of 4 heavy-hitting Europeans from NXT UK. Now they have invaded NXT, and it seems that they are here to stay. At least that is the impression that NXT UK champion Walter gave. Walter, Alexander Wolf, Marcel Barthel, and Fabian Heiner have been a force to be reckoned with in NXT UK. During a promo on NXT this week, Walter made the faction's intentions much more clear. Imperium is looking to stick around in a big way and spread their influence. That could mean a lot more screen time for them on both NXT brands as well. Walter wasn't on NXT this week. He likely won't be in NXT full time because he has rejected the idea of moving to the United States full time. That won't stop him from making more frequent trips as travel restrictions begin to loosen. I wonder why we haven't been seeing Walter a lot these days. Now, folks, that's all the NXT news I have. This is going to be the end of your April the 13th, 2020 WWE NXT review. Before I get out of here, I got a few announcements to make. Tonight, my AEW Dynamite review will be live. So I'm going to do my AEW Dynamite review in the old-fashioned way. No intro music, just a simple review. Now, Thursday, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to stream debut the WWE 2K Battlegrounds game this Thursday or what. But I do plan on training. I do plan on playing the game today to train. So get prepared for this Thursday, because WWE 2K Battlegrounds could be making my YouTube debut. It could be making its YouTube debut on my channel. And it is. So, AEW Dynamite review will be tonight, and then I'm going to be streaming, for the first time ever, I'm going to be streaming WWE 2K Battlegrounds. New gaming content coming to the channel, folks, this Thursday. This week, WWE 2K Battlegrounds will be my newest game that I've ever streamed. Certainly Jump Force will be too when I get it next week. That's another new game I'm getting. So, More new gaming content coming to the channel for you all, folks. There are more secrets to be reviewed as the months go by. And yes, when the WWE 2K22 game comes out, I will be getting that as well. Hopefully it's for the PS4. If it's not, I'm gonna be mad. Now, this Friday, my WWE Friday Night SmackDown watch along will be live. This Friday night before my SmackDown review. Then after that, my review will be live after that. So, and I have something planned this Saturday. And I have a game that I'll be streaming this Saturday as well. I do have to go get my hair cut that weekend. So when I come back from getting my hair cut this Friday or Saturday, maybe I will stream for the very first time WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Or I may just simply stream Call of Duty. Or maybe WWE 2K20. Maybe we can finish doing the women's resolution thing. You know what I mean? Or go back to doing that showcase thing where you unlock the Halloween characters on there. I don't know. But new content is certainly coming. New gaming content is certainly coming to the channel this year. Folks, I'm getting out of here. Peace. You all have yourselves a good day, and I will see you live for my AEW Dynamite review. Peace. Oh, and by the way, hit the like button on the stream if you enjoyed the review. Peace, I'm out of here.